the fire safety bill that's come out, it looks to be very much that sprinklers systems will be required in buildings over 11 metres. This quote from the 27th of May from the Housing Secretary, Robert Jenrick, was regarding new buildings, but his quote there, new statutory guidance published today, also means all new residential buildings over 11 metres tall will be fitted with sprinkler systems. But the key thing with sprinkler systems is how, firstly, the coverage of sprinkler systems. And we hear a lot about what if we just put these in the communal areas to protect escape routes, etc. Now, this really drills into the way sprinkler systems work. It's really designed to fight the fire at the seat of the fire, the original point where the fire starts. And as most of us know, the biggest fire hazards in the housing buildings are within the flats themselves, give the impression of beams, concealed heads within that trunking. So here's a project we did in a high-rise, sprinkler heads into every room within the flat, or every key living room within the flat, I should say. And we were able to fit trunking in a way that gave so the pipe works concealed within that white trunking you see in the top corner of the room there, and the concealed heads were sidewall mounted pendant heads that came essentially out from behind those little plastic caps. So really the finish can be quite aesthetically pleasing, and that's really the key thing. What you see here is our simple what we call test point, but it's really flow switch, so you can zone the system flat by flat that feeds to the fire alarm and anything else, as well as the pump, etc., if needed. And the dump valve is obviously where we drain the water out of that section of the system.
So the most common type of rain screen systems that's used today is the pressure equalized system. Now, this utilizes open cavities at the top and the bottom of the system, as well as open joints between the panels. And the way the system works is that the air pressure enters the cavity and then equalizes that with the external air pressure. What the fire ratings mean, we've been mentioning A1, A2. A1 is typically known as being non-combustible, whereas A2 is known as limited combustibility. And that comes with the description of the two ratings. A1, you can see there, is described as having no contribution to fire at any stage, whereas A2 is described as having no significant contribution at any stage.